Good evening to one and all. As promised, your host is here right sharp at 6:30 to present, and a very warm welcome to this webinar, Collaborate to Coordinate, Collaboration Skills in Classroom and Beyond. We all depend upon each other for survival, and what calls for a healthy survival is collaboration. Collaboration is not only interacting with each other, it goes much beyond, where one is able to take responsibilities of one's own actions, give and receive meaningful feedback, advocate for one's own ideas and perspectives, and at the same time be open-minded to respect others' ideas. Being educators, we all emphasize on the importance of collaboration skills to succeed and to help others to succeed. Do you all agree that being able to collaborate helps one to become a better problem solver and cope up with real-life situations in terms of getting perspective from all other angles? Developing skills in our students from childhood becomes an important focus point for us as educators. Being into the education system for more than 17 years now, I have personally felt that I've experienced the path of growth only once I started following the path of collaboration. And on this note, I would like to thank Shimin Lee to give me and all of us this opportunity to collaborate and learn. I'm Ruchira Banka, an educator having taught mathematics, having led the CBSE, Cambridge, and the IB curricula in various stages of my professional life. And now here I'm trying to create platforms for teachers to come together to discuss some such ideas that help to create future-ready citizens. Let me introduce Shimin Lee to you. Shimin, a Japanese word that means citizen. Shimin Lee is an edtech platform that aims to create global citizens. Shimin Lee provides skill-based programs to both schools and individuals with the belief that students need holistic education to shape up as resilient, confident individuals who are ready to prosper in the real world. With the vision to create these future-ready citizens, Shimin Lee provides lessons to students that focus on development of life skills and academic skills with professionally trained teachers from across the globe. And the idea of giving the best education to the students, to the future-ready citizens, raises this thought of getting educators together in today's and many such more webinars. The webinar today has two eminent school principals sharing their idea and experience of what collaboration is and the importance of collaboration skills in classrooms and beyond. With this focus and without further delay, I would like to introduce to you the speakers for the day. Prior to this, I request the audience to keep their mics on mute throughout the duration of the session. The mic access shall be given to you as and when required during the interaction. Any points that need our attention may be put down in the chat box and our speakers shall take it up towards the end of the session. And here I introduce them to you. We have on stage Ms. Anupama Ramachandra. With over 2 decades of experience in teaching at various levels ranging from kindergarten to senior secondary level, Mrs. Anupama Ramachandra believes that education must result in empowerment with responsibility. With postgraduate degrees in both English literature and education, she's always been a passionate teacher of English and educational administrator who insists on total quality management. Her pursuit to inculcate appropriate language skills in her students encouraged her to become a university certified oral examination for a Cambridge University certified oral examiner for English assessments. After receiving the rare honor of participating in the FCTE program through the Nehru Fulbright Awards, her perspective of mobilizing available resources and involving the community for better education changed drastically. She has received the Chanakya Award 2019 for excellence in teaching of English from Public Relations Council of India, the Karnataka Sikshana Ratna Award. You all will notice, and the list goes on. The Principal par excellence from IIHM, Stri Shakti Samman 2020 from IUEF, Rising Star Achievement Award 2019 by DK Education, Inspirational Leadership Award 2021 by GTEF, Global Principals Award 2021 by AKS Education, to name a few of her personal achievements. Teacher training, community engagement, and connecting classrooms to real-life situations are her areas of interest. She is a certified resource person for teacher training programs conducted by the CBSE. She has been the city coordinator for national competitive exams conducted by the National Testing Agency and has been on review panels of subject-related publications. She is the Vice President of Rotary E-Club of Bangalore. Having taught at various institutions across the country, She is currently the founder principal of Delhi Public School Electronic City in Bangalore, India. Welcome to the webinar, Ms. Anupama.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruchira, for that warm introduction and welcome. Glad to be here today.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of learning for all of us today.
I hope so.
We have our next educator and principal, Mrs. Aubak Chatterjee. She's a principal with 10 years of experience in leading CBSE schools and having 27 plus years of experience in educating students and teachers across. She's been into school teaching and administration for 27 plus years now. She doubles masters in English and education and has a certification in strategic leadership for schools from IIM Ahmedabad. She has worked with the Central Board of Secondary Education as Center Nodal Supervisor, head examiner for English. She has headed various forums in CBSE, like being the head of district level committee members, CBSE city coordinator, and has even worked and rehauled CBSE training modules, which reach multiple educators to be able to teach effectively. Mrs. Aubak loves to share her knowledge and skills with educators and has been conducting training sessions for teachers, which include modules on happy classrooms, classroom management, English as a subject in CBSE, assessment of speaking and listening skill in CBSE, art integration, continuous comprehensive evaluation, and many more. She has a dissertation paper to her name, a study of academic achievement and adjustment factor of rural adolescent students in Bangalore. She's an avid traveler who's been to 15 countries and has traveled widely in India too. Her thoughts on spreading and sharing skills leads all of us here to be a part to learn from this lifelong learner. Welcome, Ms. Aubak. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Ruchira.
I would like to hand...
Carry.
Yeah, I would like to hand over the stage to you and request the audience to participate in the interactions by typing whatever they have in the chat box. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now I move on to the next slide, and first of all, I must welcome each and every one of you present here virtually, though, to listen to a few things that two pretty old, principals have to say. And what we have to say, believe me, is not something new. It's not rocket science. You already know that. You already know that. It's just that we thought, and Ruchira said, that let's all get together and think about some skills which not only Shimandi thinks of, but which every teacher worth his or her salt should think of. So now the question is, if I ask you, what is collaboration? That is the topic of the day. How do we collaborate and move on to coordination? So what is collaboration? Can you quickly write in the chat box? One word. Please do not write whole sentences. Maybe just, one word. Can I get from y'all? Whatever. When you hear the word collaboration, what comes to your mind? I'm opening the chat box. I'm giving you 1 minute to write. Okay, Smriti says grouping, nice blend, work together, working in sync, improvise, togetherness, combining ideas, alliance. Okay, togetherness, yes, working in team, blend, participation, joining together, even, thank you, sharing ideas. I can't even read how fast you were going. And
an activity, a question is what?
A question, collective effort. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So we got wonderful, that is wonderful participation. That tells us that even after the whole day's, work in a school, you're still awake. Thank you so much. So coming.
The word others appears in many responses, Aubak. The word others, yes, it says working with others, teaming with others, uniting with others, sharing with others.
So that is what it is about, collaboration. So when we are talking about collaboration, it is not where the focus is not on the I or the we, the focus is on the we. Okay, so it is always I and you, which comprises the we. So if you look at these words, trust, inspiration, exchange, assess, support, success, share, teamwork, all these words that I have put in, if you look at this, you will find that almost all of you have written these kind of words. All right, maybe synonyms or whatever. So we need to look into these very closely, that when we talk about collaboration, why do we talk about trust or inspiration or exchange or assisting each other or supporting each other? So these things are the hallmark of a good collaborative work. So whenever we are collaborating, now one thing, even before I embark into a little more about what is collaboration, I need to say one thing, that when we talk about collaboration, we do not talk about only teacher to teacher or principal to principal. It cuts across all verticals. It cuts across everything, and that is how we collaborate well. And I always like to give very, very simple examples. For instance, at home, suppose you are going to make a sambar dal, all right? So when you're doing that, there's somebody who's helping you with maybe cutting the vegetables. There's somebody who's probably washed the dal for you, and maybe you are cooking at the. So that is also collaboration, all right? When you fight with your spouse, that is also collaboration, okay? That is very important collaboration when you're fighting with your spouse. Now, I want any one of you to raise your hand, and maybe Michael can unmute, and and we can ask any one of you. Ruchira, can you help us there? If somebody raises their hand, just unmute and just ask any one of them. Now, when we talk, when I am saying that even when we fight, there is collaboration. Can someone tell me in 1 or 2 sentences? Can you raise your hand? Then Ruchira can unmute you. Anyone? How is it that we collaborate even when we are fighting? No one yet, Ruchira?
Yeah, Sanchita Sarkar has raised her hand, Obak.
So Ruchira, can you kindly unmute?
Yes. Michael, unmute her, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, of course. You're loud and clear.
Yeah, you are asking how can a fight with the spouse be collaboration? Well, I feel its opposition is also important. So that is the collaboration that goes on in running successfully running a family, I believe.
Yes, you slayed it with the first sentence. That opposition is required. So that is what, when we are collaborating, we should not become complacent. That, okay, and you should not, when we are collaborating, we need to have that we should not have yes people around us. Especially as a principal, if I'm saying something and I keep on having, yes, ma'am, you're right. Yes, ma'am, you're right. Thankfully, some of my teachers are there. Thankfully, they are not. They have started, learn to say, no, ma'am, this will not work. So now getting into this, collaboration is all about bringing people together from different departments, localities, teams, verticals, and then focusing their efforts on a common goal. So we need to have a common goal, but it cannot happen. If everyone's not is on this. It has to happen if everybody is on the same page, skill-wise. Now the question is, skill-wise, is it possible for all of us to be on the same page? Yes, it is possible. But do you think the skill will be the same? No, the skill will be different. My expertise and, Anu's expertise or Ruchira's expertise or Sanchita's expertise, it can all vary. But we have to come at a level ground. That is when we say that we have to be on the same page skill-wise. Now look at this picture. Can any one of you just give me 2 sentences what you feel about this picture? How does this picture correlate with what I just spoke about? Anyone? If you don't, then I will. 30 seconds. Raise up. Any hands raised? No? No. Okay, I go.
Manjusha Jane says different skills put together.
Okay.
And
no,
Jayashree has raised her hand. Yeah.
So, Jayashree, could you unmute Jayashree, please?
Jayashree, you can unmute and start speaking.
Yeah, very good evening, ma'am. Yes, am I audible to you all? Please?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Yes, Jayashree, ma'am, you are audible.
Am I audible to you, please?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. We can hear.
All right. I feel this people with different talents and different capabilities, they are putting together a team. So there are different pieces, different parts of the puzzle, which they are trying to put it together and work in sync.
Right. Thank you so much. Work in sync. That's the, root word over here, which we are looking for. So skill wise, so what same page, if you look at the table, it is the same page. All right. So on that same page, skill wise, we are all putting in our 2-bit. Now, if you look at the wheels, all the wheels are different in size and color. Have you noticed that? So each wheel represents one of us. We are all different. So we bring on the table, it's like potluck. Don't you do potluck in the staff room? Somebody brings this, somebody brings that. So it is whenever we are collaborating, it's something like a potluck, that we are putting things together, our skills together, but we have to be on the same page. We need to be in sync. Now, many a times as principals, we try to look, and hire, we ask questions where we check for collaboration, collaboration skills, because it is very important. But many a times we do not realize that if I'm bringing a personnel who has collaborative capabilities, is my organization, good enough? Is it open enough that whatever skill I am bringing in after, doing 2 or 3 or 4 rounds of interview, can that collaboration skill of that particular person thrive in my school, my organization? I will say school because, that's the only workplace I've ever been. So I will keep on saying the same thing, school. But what I'm talking about is any larger organization, if you talk about. So it is always, we also need to see that not only look for collaboration skills, but also make a conducive environment where the collaboration skills thrive and also it becomes better. So now I'm just going to talk about, can this be pushed up? Now I'm going to talk about 6 crucial collaboration skills. Now, one is open-mindedness, organization, debate, adaptability, long-term thinking, communication. Now, I'll just say one word, sentence about this. Open-mindedness. We cannot collaborate unless and until we are open-minded. It's a very, very crucial thing, because if I am closed in nature, and I will say, I'm willing to take all your, you tell me, I'm willing to take whatever you say. But after I come back to my room and I say to myself, I pat myself, my ideas are the best. I will not take anybody else's ideas. Okay. So therein, how much open-mindedness is required. Organization. When I'm talking about organization, I'm not talking about organization per se, a school or an industry or whatever, but our organizational skills is a very crucial collaborative element. Debate, like I was talking about the fight, debate is, a more polished way of the, fighting with each other. We need to debate. We need to, talk against, otherwise the best will not come out. Adaptability. I always say just one sentence, I question, why did the dinosaur go extinct? So let us all learn from that one lesson, that we need to be adaptable. But if we are not, then we are a dinosaur, a metaphorical dinosaur. Long-term thinking. When we are talking about collaboration, we need to think about long-term thinking. We all should have a couple of short-term goals and maybe 1 or 2 long-term goals. Long-term thinking, because that is when we go together as a force, a school or any organization, any group or any vertical, they go together as an organization. And communication, that's, I think, is very, very important. Many things, flounder, many things go down the pits just because when we do not have the communicating ability to communicate what we want to say. And, even now, if as a resource person, my communication skills are not good, I might have the best of PPT and the best of ideas, but I will not be able to cut across to you if the communication skill is not there.
Oba, can I just add another point here?
please. Yes.
Yeah. So in addition to what Aubak has just mentioned, the 6 skills of collaboration, I would like to add another very critical skill that is required for a good collaboration. See, collaboration always need not be good. Sometimes we have bad collaborations also, right? We have collaborations that don't work. So out of my personal experience, I just feel that another very critical skill required for good collaborations, which brings out the desired impact, is mutual respect for each other. You know, like when participants come together in a collaboration, when there are stakeholders, there has to be mutual respect where we value each other's contributions. It is not necessary that all the stakeholders have the equal amount of contribution. However little the contribution is, I think we need to respect each other's position and also value their contribution. So mutual respect among stakeholders is another thing that I want to add.
Absolutely, Anu. And that is what, if you look at the previous, animation, that picture, that, those wheels, they're all different color and different sizes, because
Yes.
We come with our own skill sets, and they will differ. But all this, when it's on the same page, that is when, we make a good collaboration and good team. Now, I'm just going to talk, out of those 6, I'm going to talk about these 2. These 2 are the ones which I have tried to, as a principal, or rather as a senior teacher, I have tried to, put forward to my teachers over the years. For instance, I always say, begin meetings whenever, we start a meeting, begin meetings with a reminder of what type of climate is ideal for courageous and creative ideas to emerge. So it is very important that you set, as a leader, as a senior teacher, as a coordinator, we set the tone, and it should be courageous so that creative ideas do emerge. And when ideas are in their infancy, any kind of ideas, suppose we want to do something, and any idea which is in their infancy, search for what is interesting and ask questions. Asking questions is very, very crucial. Next is, they can be tough questions as long as they arise from the desire to gain knowledge as opposed to the need to exert control or dominance. Okay, I come in, I am the principal, and I want to exert control and dominance. That might not work out. Yes, I am not saying I don't do it, or any principal does not. We all, but there are times and there are times. Sometimes, it is, we do exert control or dominance at times, but more majorly, we want this, we want to gain knowledge, and there should be curiosity amongst the group. Another thing is adaptability. Adaptability is a crucial collaboration skill, but it's another one of those difficult to teach ones. Adapting well to change comes with practice and experience. And adaptability, I say many times to my teachers over the years, I remember I have said things like, why don't you go out and have coffee after school? Why don't you go and catch a movie together? Why do we do that? So that you learn to adapt to the various things and the people also. And that's when, you start talking to each other, you find out problems of each other's, little problems. And that's when you start adapting to each other. So when there are 6 or 7 people trying to adapt with each other, what happens is, in the staff room, it has a very good repercussion. So suppose today I have some problem, and when you know that this is a genuine problem, you will find 3 other teachers stepping in trying to help you. But if you say, if you stand aloof, and then when the trouble comes, you will find none of the teachers, stepping in to help you. Another thing is, I also try to teach this and inculcate this amongst the teachers, that collaborate among themselves. So when we have something like long-term thinking, another extremely important component of collaboration, it's very, very crucial. We should learn long-term thinking, and that from adaptability, when these teachers, become a whole group, they learn to think together. They learn to think about certain things, and it becomes a long-term vision for the organization. And and the end result of a collaborative work can be understood. Okay, this is what we want to do after 2 months, or this is what we want to do next year. Collaboration is all about working towards a common goal or shared purpose, and of course, recognizing how your contributions fit into that goal. So as Anu pointed out, the contributions, small, big, whatever the color, it has to fit into that goal. For teachers who want to improve their collaboration this means gaining an understanding of a project scope and everyone's role in it. So everyone has to be like the tandem. If you can see this picture, the tandem. In the tandem, you can see that there are a whole lot of, you will find some taking more important roles of, pedaling. Some probably will be in the carrier at the back, some at the basket at the front, but the whole team has to move forward. Now, if you see this picture, can you tell me what these people are doing? What are they talking about? Not doing. What are they talking about? Can you put in the chat box, please? In next 30 seconds, I'll wait. Can you put in the chat box? What do you think all these men, or there's a lady, I think, are talking about? They're talking about something. Sources of energy, brainstorming, putting up an idea, okay. But what sources of energy was the closest, if I'm not mistaken? Putting forth ideas, sharing ideas. Source of light, yes. Source of light, yes. Okay, quite a few have given source of light. Yes, it is. They're all talking about light, but look at the way all of them are thinking. They're all thinking about light, but one is thinking about an electric bulb, the other about a CFL, somebody else about LED, somebody else a matchstick. Those are all light, nevertheless. So what we see is herein comes the communication. It is so important that our communication skills are good. And this is what I try to tell the teachers also, that when you're talking amongst yourselves, be very clear. Unless and until your communication skills are clear, it is very difficult for the other person to understand what you're talking about. So clear and thoughtful communication is another must-have for successful collaboration. I say, you might have a great idea. But what's the point with that idea if the other person, you cannot reach out to the other people, if they do not understand what you want to do. So each teacher will need to be able to express themselves to each other. The problem is people communicate differently. We all communicate differently. And fostering clear and open communication means being mindful of different communication styles and adapting the way you communicate accordingly. We all have different communication styles. I might talk in a particular way, somebody else might talk in a. When I'm talking about this, I am actually not talking about. I'm not talking about the way one uses the English or the accent. No, the communication styles. What I'm talking about. Some people you will notice. They will come and suddenly start telling you something without saying first 2 sentences, without giving you a preamble, and they will take it for granted that you understand what this person is talking about. These are different communication styles. Some people, that same little bit which can be said in 10 words, they will use at least 40 words to explain that. So we have people with different communication styles, and we need to adapt with each other and communicate accordingly. Effective communication requires a substantial level of self-awareness. That is extremely needed. Even I need to understand as a communicator, what kind of a communicator am I? So that is also required. And when we become good, when the good communication skills come into us, we are better collaborators because we can make somebody else understand what my idea is. Okay, over to Anupama.
Thank you, Abha, for that beautiful foundation that you've laid for me to take over. So a very, very warm good evening to all the participants who have joined in this evening. I want to start off with a beautiful example of collaboration that we have in front of us today. Ruchira is joining in from some part of the country. Aubak is joining in from Kollam, which is the southernmost tip of India. And I am not even in India, I'm joining in from California. we have been working together for the last 10 days, putting together this presentation of how we're going to, put this PPT together, how we put in our parts, and how ABAC was there threading it all together, and how we got so many of the educators who have joined in from different parts of the country to join in. And here we are all sitting together, brainstorming on how to collaborate for better impact. What could be a better example of collaboration? We can just end the session here and say that we know it all, right? So today we are here to discuss how we can take this forward. It's not enough if we all just come together on a platform and say, yes, we have collaborated. We need to take this conversation forward. We need to know how we can bring this being together to create an impact. So I would like to quickly focus all your attention to our place of work. I am assuming that all of us are associated with schools. So I would like for you to focus on how schools are built, right? So since I happen to be associated with my current school, DPS Electronic City in Bangalore, from day one, I know how the school was built brick by brick, right? So quickly, I'll just take a minute to just take you through that. We all know that for a school to be built, the management goes and selects a piece of land. They collaborate with those landholders, and they buy that piece of land, and then they go to the municipal authorities, and they go to the government to get an NOC, and then the building starts getting built, right? So then there is a whole lot of workers who come in, like masons and plumbers and electricians and architects. So they all have to collaborate with each other so that the building, the infrastructure comes up, right? Landscaping happens, gardeners come in, and people who build the pool, people who set up our amphitheaters and the acoustics. So you can just imagine the number of people that the management has to collaborate with for the infrastructure that all of you work in. We don't give much thought, right? When we walk into the school, we just see, oh, it's another building. But just imagine the number of people who had to collaborate to put this building together. We always find faults, right? This room should have been, the window should have been here. And why couldn't they make it this way? But just imagine when thousands of people are collaborating, just like how Aubach said, how much of communication would have happened between all those stakeholders. Then the next stakeholder who comes in is, of course, the staff members. When the management recruits staff members, the principal, the teachers, and all the allied staff, also the drivers, the attenders, the lab attenders, and all our helpers. Just see how much of collaboration is happening at that level. And then, of course, we have the parents who come in, and then lastly, actually, it should be the first to come in, are the students, right? So I just have a question for all the participants. I just spoke about all the stakeholders or people who have to come in together to put together a good school. So according to you, whose role is the biggest in the school? Who do you think, as educators, when the school is running, who do you think has the biggest role to play in the school according to you? Is it the management? Is it the principal? I know you'll never say the principal. Is it the teachers? Is it the parents who kind of dominate the scene, or is it the students? Who do you think is the most important stakeholder in a school? Teachers and principal, student, Zarina, teacher, student together, all of them says ANSI. Okay, children, parents, students, teachers, and everyone. Student says Asha, Rudresh. Okay. Right. So everyone, I see a lot of everyone. I saw a management also. Yes, we have to keep the management happy. I know that, but today they're not there. So don't worry. You can say not the management also. Students and the entire staff, collaboration of all the stakeholders. Yes. Okay. So I think the answer is kind of quite dominant there, that I don't think if you just take a step back and think who is the most important stakeholder, I don't think we can name any one, right? Because you just remove one of the stakeholders. Let's say we say that parents are not important. We cannot have a school without parents, right? Or if we say, let's say, the workers in the school, we cannot run the school even for a day without the workers, right? So as stakeholders of a school, we are all pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Even without one small piece somewhere, the puzzle is not complete, right? We are all disarrayed pieces is what I feel. Dysfunctional unit is what I would call, even if one stakeholder is not there or is not fitting in well. So I would like to open my discussion with this premise that in the setup of a school, all stakeholders are important, whatever the role they have to play. Sometimes parents can be a pain, right? They trouble you so much that you feel, oh my God, I just wish that parents were not a part of the school at all. We would be able to run the school better, is what we think. But just give it another thought. Parents are very important for decision making because they are the ones who are actually, if you look at it, paying for all the activities that are happening there largely. So parents have a very important role to play, not only because of that, but also because if you just think of, the builder, the landowner, the management, the principal, the teachers, the parents, all their concerns is common, right? What is that common concern that all of us have as stakeholders? Parents, teachers, principal, management, success of the child. Thank you, Zarina, for that answer. So success of the child is what all of us are working so hard for. So when we have a common goal, isn't it so natural for all of us to come together and work and be on the same page? So that is the reason, my question, why collaborate? I think you already have the answer. The answer is because not only are we all major stakeholders, but we all have in mind the well-being and success of the child, because of which it is so necessary for us to have sessions like how Ruchira has organized for us today through Shiman Lee. Why collaborate? We need to know the importance of collaboration. Only then will we start thinking of how to collaborate. So I feel the most important, the critical question that all of us need to ask ourselves is why collaborate? We can all do our work, right? I'm an English teacher. I can just go teach my English and come back home. Why do I need to collaborate with, let's say, a Hindi teacher? Why do I need to collaborate with a social science teacher? Well, it is because all of us are working for children. Okay. And, are Abak and I just talking theoretically? No. Both of us have been quite successful in weaving collaborative stories at our workplaces. And I would like to quickly take you through some of our success stories at DPS Electronic City, where collaborations have worked beautifully. We have been able to do so much better with collaborative efforts rather than do it ourselves. So, we collaborate at our school to learn and teach better. Can we just go to the previous slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Firstly, our success stories are amongst the teachers of how teachers come together to teach better. So we don't teach in silos. It is not that just the English department works by themselves and the science department works by themselves. It is not like that. Although we do have departments for each subject, we all come together as a section, like teachers teaching grades 1 to 5, they collaborate with each other so that they come to know who are the children who need more attention. Let's say we have one Anupama who needs attention in science. So when a science teacher meets a teacher who's teaching Kannada teacher will also say, oh, is it Anupama needs attention in my class also? So it becomes so much easier for them to share notes so that they can refer Anupama to probably the special educator who can analyze why Anupama needs special attention. So, we are able to help the child with minimum effort. It's not that all of us, the Kannada teacher is working by herself, social science teacher is working by herself. No, we all work together so that the collective effort impacts the child better, and the child is able to learn better also. So it's very important for us to collaborate amongst ourselves first as teachers, so that the teaching learning process gets better, the pedagogies are better implemented. I would like to give you another example of how we have collaborated to share resources, especially during the pandemic. It so happened that some teachers left in between due to genuine reasons. We did not have teachers in the middle of the year, and we were not able to recruit. With the help of our sister concerns, we have been able to run classes successfully with teachers of other schools. We had a psychology teacher from another school who was teaching our children. We have an accountancy teacher who's teaching from another school. We are having a history teacher from another school. We are having a political science teacher from another school. So it is so beautifully being woven together that nobody even knows from which school the teacher is teaching. Just imagine if all of us could share our resources with other schools, how beautiful it would be. Especially, don't think of your schools, because I think you all come from elite schools which are privileged. Just think of how this kind of collaboration would help schools which are far flung in India, somewhere in remote parts of India, how we could lend our teachers to them, how we could spare probably an hour to teach some children in some remote village in Assam, how we could support a school that has no teachers in some remote part in Maharashtra. So just broaden your horizons and see that if you are ready to spare your time. That is what I do in Rotary. I associate myself with a lot of government schools and ask them that, would you like for me to come and teach your children English when I have time? So collaboration is not just for schools like ours, which have everything. We are all privileged. We get what we want. But just think of how you as educators can help students who are in schools who do not have the privilege of beautiful teachers like you. And the next one is collaboration for support. All of us need support. I need support. Like for this presentation, Aubak did all the work. I could not do much because of some reasons. So she was there to support me, and nobody knows, whether Anupama did this presentation or I'm just using the presentation which was made by Aubak. Nobody needs to know. What is important here is where we all able to come together so that we were able to support each other in time of need and crisis. All of us go through times of crisis, right? We are not the same throughout the year. We are also human beings. So when you need help, do you have good relations? Aubak was speaking about communication, right? Communication also translates to relationships. Do you have a good relationship with other stakeholders so that you can ask for help? Like sometimes you need to ask help from parents also. In our school, we have a system where we ask parents whether they would like to volunteer for school activities. They can come and teach, they can accompany children on field trips, they can be part of decision making. So we ask parents for help. So when you ask for help, it is not a sign of being weak or vulnerable. It is a sign of sharing your power with others. You are telling them, please, you are also welcome on board. Why don't you be part of decision making? Why don't you be a part of the functioning of the school? You are not giving away your power. In fact, you are empowering yourself more by delegating work. As leaders also, many of us are in leadership roles. It is so critical for us to understand that we are not like Superman and we can do everything. It doesn't work like that. It is all about delegating work. That, okay, you take care of transport, you take care of the external examinations, you take care of the cultural activities, you take care of the dance and activities in the school. So when you delegate work to people who are interested in doing it, that job is done better. I am not a Miss Know-all who knows everything, right? So I need to identify people who are good at something and tell them that you take care of this. They are also happy. We are also happy that the job is being done well. So collaboration is not just random people coming together to solve problems of all kinds. Collaboration can also be very specific. Like I have just listed 3 here, which we have done. Very recently, our school collaborated with a school in a rural part of Bangladesh. And we got together to find out how schooling has changed post-pandemic. Believe me, it was such a beautiful experience when we got to know from the school. It is called Gorashal Pilot School in Dhaka in Bangladesh. It is in a remote area, in a rural area, I would say. But the collaboration between that school and our school turned out to be so beautiful that children came to know that all children are not privileged like them, so that they have started valuing the privileges that they are having both at home and at school. So when we are looking for collaboration, please don't think that we have to look at people or institutions who are at our level. It is not like that. It is very beneficial to collaborate with people with higher abilities, with teams with lower abilities, because it is learning when we collaborate like this. Mixed ability groups, they say, function the best. So like Aubak has already mentioned, there should be disagreement, there should be friction, there should be sparks coming out of collaboration. It can't be all lovey-dovey. That's not a good relationship, right? There has to be life in collaboration also. And with the skills that Aubak has mentioned, I'm sure you are already thinking of how you could collaborate amongst your own circles. It has to start from within. It has to happen from within the family. So collaboration should first happen amongst yourselves as a team, and then we can go out of the school and collaborate with the other stakeholders of other organizations also. So with this, I hand over the proceedings back to Aubak.
Thank you so much, Anu. Yes, now we're going to have a small game, all right? For this game, we will need three pairs, so 6 persons. And we will give you 4 minutes to brainstorm, not 5, it will be 4, just a small mistake over here. And you will come back and you are going to perform for 1.5 minutes. And there will be these breakout rooms. So can I have 6 people quickly, and you will have to switch on your video. And I promise you it's going to be fun. The topics are all very, very funny. So can I have 6 persons? Okay, Manjusha, number 1. Manjusha and someone else. Can I see the bigger screen? That will be better. I can see Manjusha Jain. Anyone else?
Come on, teachers. 2 participants have raised their hands.
Manjusha and Shilpa. Can you be put to, okay, Manjusha and Shilpa will be group 1. Ritu and I need some more hands. Ritu and Ansi Sam will be in group 2, and Jayashri and Jayanti will be in group 3. Is it clear? So you know who is in group 1, group 2, group 3. Now
Ruchira has typed in the chat box also the group.
Okay, great.
The teams, yeah.
Now, great. So I will tell you group. Now let me tell you what is the rule of the game. I will tell you what you have to collaborate, the 2 of you, and come back and perform for 1 or max 1.5 minutes. And the moment you get your performance header, you will be put into a chat. What do you call that? Breakout room. Yeah. Breakout room. Okay, so group 1, here's your pin up a sari pallu. So can group 1 go into a breakout room, please? Ruchira, can you help, please? Okay, group 2, you have to do a duet. It can be a song or a dance, or you can draw, you can act, you can do anything. 1 minute. So group 2 goes to the breakout room, please.
Yeah.
And
So the part, yeah, Obak, you can give the topic for group 3.
Yes, group 3, your topic is tell the audience a joke, a meme, a micro story. All you need to remember is 1 minute. So please go to your breakout rooms.
Yeah, so the participants have to think, brainstorm on how they can do it better together. You know,
Yes.
instead of doing it alone, how are they going to do it better together?
2 of you, and you are going to come back and perform. I think
Yeah.
we are going. Ansi Sam, Manjusha Jain, please leave. I think you have been assigned the group, the breakout room. Kindly. Rooms are open.
Should we broadcast the message to all? Or it's done?
It's done.
It's done? Okay. Okay.
I think, no, Jayanti ma'am, I can see Jayanti still over here. She should be in a group, in her room. Breakout room. Jayanti, you need to go to your breakout room, please. Jayanti is still here. She needs to go into the breakout room. After 4 minutes, they will come back to this room again. In the meantime, would one want to share in 1 or 1.5 minutes any collaboration they have done anywhere, any collaboration there, anywhere, school, on the road, in a marketplace, at home, anywhere? We would like to hear from you. Jayanti is still here. I don't know. She should be in a room.
Jayanti, are you not able to join into your breakout room?
Okay, no.
She's already in the breakout room.
She's already there. Okay, okay.
This is, she has a hand up, but she, Jayanti Bhattacharya and Jayesh, they're already in the breakout. All right, anyone? Let's hear. Jayanti, you want to speak?
Jayanti Jyotilingam, yeah.
Any collaborative work that you have done anywhere that you would want to share with us in the meantime. They'll be back in another 2-3 minutes. They'll be back. Anyone?
Ma'am, I would like to share myself, Kavita.
Yes, please do, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So it is like every time in maths, I am from math department. So every time in maths, whenever we plan for an activity, it is like everyone puts their idea, like what we will do, which will be best for the children. And no, we will all have a different kind of opinion. Then we will all come together and we will agree to one thing. Okay, this will be better. So like that, we collaborate every time when we have an activity, not only a small activity, overall there will be a collaboration with other subjects also.
Okay, yes, of course. So that is definitely a collaboration that we look forward to, even whether it's small, whether it's big. We need to, brainstorm. We need to talk to each other, because the our thinking might be different, but the thought process should be in sync with each other. Anyone else? You'd like to share something? Why not something funny, out of the box? Think out of the box, or out of the school. Say something else. Everything in life we do is collaboration. Can anyone share anything?
Ma'am, sudden photo shoot, that also we do. Suddenly we say, we make like this face and we take a selfie. Okay, we do this, we do that. So we immediately we do and we do it. So that is also kind of collaboration, and it actually later when we see, we enjoy.
Exactly, Kavita. Even those small things are collaboration. Have you noticed you make the lady with the longest arms stand in the front with the camera? You have a long arm, stand in the front. Let us all stand in one line. So you see, there is collaboration in every little thing that we do. Even at our homes. Can anyone give us any example from the home that you do?
During any function time, ma'am, like even festival time, we used to collaborate among us to make it very success, like calling relatives and everyone working together and making it as a we used to create a memories based on that, right?
Yes. Even imagine when you're doing something like a rangoli 2, 3 of you.
Rangoli. Yeah, Rangoli. Also, we can say preparing biryani together, all together.
Ma'am, myself, Asha, can I speak up? Can I share something?
Sure.
Yes, Asha.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to share something personally. I used to visit a temple close by to my house, but after some time, I was not able to visit the temple. Later, at some point of time, when I went back, the temple was in a very bad condition. You know, the paint was gone, everything. I went and checked with the Guruji over there. How much does it cost to have the temple painted? But it was a little too much for me to put in the cost. So I was thinking about this for a long time. It was just running in my mind. How could I do? In what way can I help out? Then what I did was I was just browsing through and I came across a FB group, Facebook team, which was involved in all this work. I just approached them for their help. Is there any way that I can help you or you can collaborate and get the work done? I just cannot see the temple being in such a condition.
Ma'am, can you be a little faster, please?
Oh, sure. I'm so sorry. Okay, but then he wasn't sure if he could help me out, but he took my and later, after some time, there was no communication between me and that Yuva group, but the temple was redone. It was so beautiful for me to watch back. It was not informed to me as well, like this is being done and all, but it was done. So somewhere the collaboration happened. I raised the point and it was done. I reached out
and
to someone.
it got done. Exactly.
So it was really nice.
Real great feeling of satisfaction.
That's a success story.
All the participants are back. So room 1 was Manjusha, Jain and Shilpa. Can you come? Can you switch on the video and show us?
Yes,
Your question was pinning up the sari.
Yes, pinning up a sari pallu. Yeah.
1 minute. Your 1 minute starts.
Okay, so we have decided on 3 ways to pin up a sari pallu. One is when you open your pallu. So you just take your pallu. I mean, after pleating the sari, everything. We are not going into that. So we are just taking the pinning of the pallu. So your pallu, you will take the corner. You will take the safety pin and you will put it from the back side. And inside it should not be shown outside, and it is done.
Okay, great.
So one way, one way is this. The second way, if you're going to some wedding or some occasion, maybe. So what you can do, that we call it as, the Gujaratis and Marwadis, they do it. That is something which is on the, right hand side, you put it.
Ulta
and
pallu.
Then you pleat, ulta pallu, yes. Yeah. So we put it and then you can pleat it like this, 4 pleats or 5 pleats, whatever way it comes. And then on
the third one is we can pleat it as a normally women would pleat, like yes, like this. And
all right,
we can pleat it.
All right, thank you so much. So
Shilpa also demonstrated that.
Yes, both of them.
Lovely collaboration, I must say.
Ritu Ranjan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nancy Sam and Ritu Ranjan, come on. Let's see what you want to do or what you do.
We need that board to draw. We are doing the drawing.
Okay.
1 minute. Your time is ticking.
Since I have joined through phone. I'm finding it difficult to get that page. Only the host can share.
That's okay. You can tell us and see what is it that you you can let us know how you collaborated.
And see, ma'am, you just explain that what I'm drawing.
Yes.
Sure, ma'am. I can see the activity presentation screen still. Abak ma'am's screen.
No, we cannot give you the board. We can't do it. That's why you have to tell us. You don't have to have the board. You just tell us. It's just 1 minute.
Okay.
You've already taken 3 minutes.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm so sorry. Okay. Our idea was collaboration with children. So we thought, okay, 2 children, Ritu ma'am will draw on top and bottom, and 2 children on left and right, I will be drawing. So they all are joining hands together to make the place, a world, a better place. So when we share and care for each other, when we present our ideas and share it, we come out with new innovations and adjustability. So I always believe adjustability is the beauty of life, like my father always tells me. So when we share, care, and adjust, it's a beautiful world with collaboration. So that's what me and my partner wanted to bring out.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Great. Next is room number 3, Jayanti Bhattacharya and Jayashree Sriram Prasad. Are you there? I think there was some problem. One could not enter it. Yes?
Ma'am, we are very much
we are there. We are there.
Yes,
yes. Can you just tell us
what we were having some issue, so now it is solved.
Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Your clock is start ticking.
All right, Jayanti, I wonder what's the difference between a cat and a comma? What's the difference between a cat and a comma?
Oh, well, actually, the difference between a cat and a comma, as far as I think, would be a cat has a pause, P-A-W-S, and a comma has a pause, P-A-W-S, and a clause also, C-L-A-U-S-E.
Yes, very good.
Now, Jayanti, if you use poor grammar, I will find you.
You will find me, then I will also correct you if you find poor grammar.
Okay.
I will also correct you, Jayashree, if you find me my poor grammar.
Okay, thank you so much. So you see, this is very simple thing that I'm just, hastening it because it's already 7:30 and I am getting, feelers that we need to wind up. So I'm sorry if I've cut you all a little bit short. So but thank you so much for being so sporting and coming up with, because it's not easy just to 3 minutes or 4 minutes and talk amongst each other and come and perform something for 1 minute. It's not so easy. But thank you so much for being so sporting. Anu, please wrap up.
Yes. So so Obak and I planned this activity just to show to all of you how, like you people did not have any prior intimation, but how within 3 minutes, you were able to come up with some spontaneous collaboration and do a presentation. So we just want you to think on the power of collaboration if it is a conscious effort. Suppose it is a planned effort. Suppose you know what you want to do, you know the goal, and then you plan it out, how much more impact it can cause in the field of education. This is what we wanted to highlight. Now, while we are talking about all the positive things about collaboration is good and this is what you need, it's also imperative for us to know what happens if you don't collaborate. Like one of you can question us and say that why collaborate? What is the need for collaboration? Well, I think from our experience, Obak and I put together, we have a lot of experience. Believe me, we are older than we look. So the kind of effort and the experience that both of us have in the field of education, we have come to a consensus that there are direct consequences or repercussions of poor connect. That is what I call lack of collaboration is nothing. If you deconstruct it, it is nothing but poor connect amongst the stakeholders. What happens if teachers are not connected amongst each other in a school? What happens if the management is not connected with the staff and the parents? What happens when the teachers are not connected with the parents? What happens when the students are not connected amongst themselves? So, there is collaboration at different levels. It is so complex. It is not directly between three people, school, parents, teachers, students. It is not as direct as we think. So what happens when there's poor connectors? First of all, there is anger and resentment in the air. We are all angry with each other. We don't smile at each other when we see. We are just like business like interaction amongst us. And somehow the minute we see another stakeholder, we are angry. When the management says we want to have a meeting, oh my God, I don't know what they have to say now, simply eating our head. When a parent calls for a meeting, God knows what they want. They want us, what do they want from us? So there is this kind of culture in the school where we are not happy with each other. So this is the first repercussion. And then, of course, it slows the progress of what we want to do with the child. Please remember, the child is in the middle of all our discussions. We are doing everything for the child. There's nothing beyond the child. So what happens when there's poor connectors? We are not able to work better with the child in the given amount of time. We don't have the entire lifetime to work with the child, right? The child is with us for a limited period of time. So what happens is, if we can take the child from point A to point B, if we have good collaboration, if there is poor connect, probably we can just come halfway. So that is what I mean when I say it slows progress. And suppose you want to take the child to a certain place, behavior wise, academic wise, co-curricular activities wise, in the field of games and sports, you have to put in a lot more effort if you do it alone. But if you do it together, probably the effort will reduce. Just imagine how beautiful life would be for all of us at school if efforts are decreased, right? If we say that instead of working for 10 hours, you're expected to work only for 5 hours, doesn't that sound like music to our ears? So we can achieve much more with lesser number of efforts if all of us put in our resources. And of course, you will see a lot of conflict of interest. When we have conversations together, different stakeholders, it is like as if we want different things. The parents will be talking on a different tangent. The staff will be speaking on a different tangent. But when you think of it, what are we all discussing about the child? So it appears like all of us want different things if there is a poor connect. And what happens? What is the ultimate result of all this? When there are cracks in our relationships, when there are cracks in our connect, who is the person who falls through? It is the child. We are adults, right? It does not impact us so much, but the child is affected most. And I wanted to ask you this as a question, that what are the challenges in collaboration? But due to paucity of time, I'm just directly going through a lecture method. I've just listed a few challenges in collaboration. What are the roadblocks that stops us from collaborating with each other? First of all, it is that we don't have awareness at all. We don't know that we can collaborate. So that is the first roadblock or hurdle. And of course, we always love to say that we don't have time. Why don't you have a meeting in the department? There's no time, ma'am. We just have to finish this. We love to say that, but believe me, if you plan it through, all of us have time. Poor planning is equal to lack of time. So think again whether you don't have time or you're not planning your time wisely. And of course, if you don't plan it well in advance, like when you're making your annual, can you just go back, please, just for a minute? So when you are doing your annual planning itself, you have to put in collaboration as a part of the agenda. And of course, like Aubach told, if lines of communication are closed between the stakeholders, you cannot collaborate. Sometimes the language, we don't know the language of the other stakeholder. We come from different socio-economic backgrounds, so we are not able to collaborate. And of course, if you don't have the right attitude towards each other, there can be no collaboration. Can you go to the next slide, please? So here are a few things that we feel. I'm not going to read it out for you. You can read it yourself. Please pay attention to the words that are in uppercase, because it is very, very important. You know, whenever you're interacting with other stakeholders, you should make each other feel welcome. A smile is something that costs nothing but has a lot of impact. Communication should be simple and clear. Whenever you're talking to your partners in collaboration, you need to be honest, but that does not mean that you have to be rude and just say it on their face and say, what you said was just a waste of time. No, that is not how you put it across, right? So you can choose whether you want a one-way communication or two-way communications also. So, you know, Obak and I would like to wind up by saying that since we are all talking about collaborations in school, I think we need to know that connecting home and school makes us a great, I'm sure he cut out the E there, community of learners. All of us are learners. Teachers are learners, students are learners, parents are learners, management are learners. So we are better as learners. And as Bob Beaupres has said, education is a shared commitment between dedicated teachers, motivated students, and enthusiastic parents with high expectations. Having high expectations is not a flaw. It's not a flaw. It is something that is expected, that is something which has to be there. It's just that, are we ready to collaborate to meet the high expectations of all the stakeholders? So thank you all for your patient hearing and for sharing your inputs with us. And I would like to thank Obak and Shimanli also for this beautiful opportunity to be here. You know, I'm starting my day. It's like 4:30 a.m. in the place where I am. Such a beautiful way to start my day. And I'm so thankful that I was able to spend my time with great educators like all yourselves and share a few of my thoughts. Thank you so much.
May I, ma'am? Zarina here.
Yes, Zarina.
Yes, ma'am. Abak, ma'am, and Anupama, ma'am, really on behalf of whole team, I would like to thank you. This session was really very interesting as well as interactive. And finally, the activity, it was very nice, ma'am. It was really very nice. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Anu, for being here with us. And thank you, Ruchira, for calling both of us. Over to you, Ruchira.
Thank you. Thank you so much for these wonderful insights. And I mean, your experience has, benefited all of us. I'm sure all the educators on this forum are benefited out of your experience. And I mean, such wonderful multiple examples that you've quoted where collaboration means so much and it has helped you out in your, particular fields. So I believe that it is the need of the hour that we also start educating our students towards the same kind of goals, that yes, it is the skills that will take you to the next level. It is collaboration with each other, being open-minded, being able to respect each other's ideas, being able to communicate well. So I believe that all of us are working towards the same goal, and just let's keep holding hands and keep going ahead in the same right direction. And in any case, any one of you who is seeking support to integrate skill-based learning in your classrooms, I believe your companion Shimanli is here. So we would like to organize many such events with eminent educators like both of you, and of course the others who would want to talk about certain things like this. And for this, may I request all of you to fill in the feedback form that will be posted on the chat box now. Also, it will be emailed to you post the webinar. I would like to thank Shimanli once again before I close this, and urge all of you to have a look at the programs that Shimanli offers. And I'm sure each one of you will get to understand how it would act as a supportive tool for you to bring skill-based learning into your classrooms. So Shimanli would offer free demo workshops for students if they want to get into it individually, and pilot program for schools who would want to take the advantage. Please connect with us wherever you want to get in touch and know more about the programs. Our mail ID is on the screen right here. And thank you so much once again. I mean, as much as I thank you is less, and I would want the sessions and multiple more sessions like this, because I wanted it to go on, but due to paucity of time, I think we had to cut short interaction session maybe, but I think it was quite interactive already. So much of learning at every bit. Thank you so much, Ms. Obak, Ms. Anupama. So taking your time out and, showering so much of learning on us.
Most welcome. It was our pleasure.
Okay, thank you, audience. We'll end the session now and hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you and good night from my end.